Today I got somebody in the building with me. I got my brother in the building with me. Not only is he my brother, he's a legend in the city of Houston, worldwide. One of the founding members of Swishahouse, Color Changing Click, CEO of Rock for Rock Entertainment,
Boss Hog Outlaws.
Boss Hog Outlaws also.
Camilitary. Yes,
Man, the list goes on, man. The accolades is many, and I'm just glad to have, this is special to me, man, because this is my brother for real, you know.
Indeed.
We gonna talk about the beginning, where he's at now, and I know that you guys are really gonna enjoy this interview. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome my brother. You know, y'all know him as 50-50 Twin.
Give him my government.
But Mr. Roderick Brown.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Welcome, bro.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. And I want to say that was the first time on a public platform that my name has ever been introduced as my mom named me. You know, I have alias 50-50 Twin, Roderick Russo, but Mike, I call him Mike. I call him Charlie Easy, like my grandfather.
Yeah.
That's one of my nicknames. I give him Charlie Easy. But Mike actually know me as Roderick Brown as well as I know him as Michael Green. So it's nothing like being who you were named. It's nothing wrong with being who you were named.
Come on, man.
And I want to say that there's a glitch in the matrix. There's a glitch in today's society with people having a problem with being who they were named.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in today's society, we tend to go with what people named us and not who we were called to be by the Most High. You know what I'm saying? So I thank bro for introducing me as Roderick, because like I say, family called me Roderick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man. You know, it's a new time, new generation. You know what I'm saying? So we have people that's gonna watch this podcast.
Okay.
Kids that's gonna watch this podcast that don't know who you are.
Okay.
That don't know like how much of a staple you are in the city of Houston. Like how much work you put in, you know, being a pioneer on our side of town.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So let's start from the beginning, man. Like, I know, you know what I'm saying, but like who is Roderick Brown, man?
Roderick Brown, okay. Me, Roderick Brown. Y'all know me as Roderick Russo. That's definitely a family name. You know what I mean? When I was I buried my father yesterday, and there were Russos and Browns there. So Russo is definitely my family name. And my rap name is 50-50 Twin. They call me 50-50 Twin because I'm a twin. I'm a triplet.
Right.
But me and my twin brother, we aspired to be rappers, you know, at a young age, and we saw that happen. And so 50-50 Twin is one of the members of Camilitary. That's with Chamillionaire. I'm also a member of the Color Changing Click with Paul Wall and Chamillionaire. Also a member of Boss Hog Outlaws, you know, with Slim Thug, you know, Ray Face, J-Dog, PJ. I'm also a member of Swishahouse, original member, you know, with DJ Michael Watts, OG Run C, and you know, all those guys, you know, Archie Lee, Lester Roy, Big Pick, Slim Thug. It was a platform for all of us on the north side.
Yeah.
You know, so growing up in that day and age, having a voice was of significance.
Yeah.
You know, us being on the block with T. Jones saying, if you want to be grown, get out the house. We had to go find relevance through our situation and where we were.
Right.
But when Michael Watts, you know, when I forgot who it was, I think it was AD who called me. He said, "Hey, Watts wants you to come over and, you know, do something on the Swishahouse." It was a big opportunity for me because I got to stop what I was doing over here on the block, and I got a chance to go have a voice on a major platform.
Man, you know, bruh, we know each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know what it was like, man, bro, because I was, you know what I'm saying, I was there for some of it.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? From Pizza Hut
Wow.
to the club.
Man.
giving the pizza and wings, and we in the club as kids. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with grown women to, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was your upbringing, man? You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm saying this is because, you know, in today's time, man, we dealing with people that if you ain't showing the money,
right,
they don't believe that you are who you really are. You know what I'm saying? And not saying you trying to prove nothing to nobody, but I'm just trying to establish to the people that's watching, like, bro, you really somebody out here, and this is how you started. You know,
man. You know, I want to say, you can be transparent without giving a person all of your personal business.
right?
But there's nothing wrong with being real with yourself.
Right.
And one of the things that I prayed about on the way here is I say, this is my brother. You know what I mean? This is my brother. He know me. Yes, we are on a major podcast platform, but this is my brother. He know me, so we want to share some moments. But as far as the perspective on you got to have money to be relevant in today's society, it's the biggest illusion. Because I was looking at a sermon. It's funny that you asked, and the preacher Tony Evans, he was speaking on the fact that just because a person have a position of power don't mean that they're bigger than you.
Right.
When you have the master key, God can open doors that this person who seemed like they're in power, they don't have that same authority. You know what I mean? And you know, and I've seen it myself, because it was some days where I went through my valley stages in life, but God still showed me favor.
Right.
And a favor that I couldn't explain, that I know some millionaires didn't have.
Right.
And I give the analogy of, you know, let's say I was talking to my Lyft driver, and let's say he said, hey, you going to the Astros game, and we were speaking on favor. Let's say you're a millionaire standing in line and you got $1 million in your bank account, but the Astros owner walk up to you and say, hey, it's something about your character that I like. Come sit up here in VIP with me. That's that master key effect. That's that favor.
Right.
So we can't go with the illusion that everybody that have money is necessarily more relevant than somebody with less.
Yeah.
And like one of my good friends, he's a serial entrepreneur. He say, a whale wasn't just born a whale. It started off eating small fish. You know what I'm saying? So we can't skip the small steps, and we can't look over the people who are taking the stairs rather than the people that took the elevator.
Well said, man. With that being said, you know, you started on GovBank.
Indeed.
How was it growing up on GovBank at that time?
I compare GovBank. Well, me personally, when I saw GovBank, I compared it with a Harlem type atmosphere. You could be right here on this corner and see some guys running a golf course, because there were 2-story homes. You know, it was a residential classy area. And then you cut the corner and you still have class, but you got young D-boys stepping out in they polos and they Tommy Hilfigers tucked in, pulled out, but they selling rocks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to be like what I saw. And to be straightforward, I hit the corner with some Bisquick, with some fake rocks. I talk about it in my book, the Miracle on 5050 Street. You know, I hit the corner with some Bisquick, because I was scared to catch a case. So I hit the corner with some Bisquick and I made my $80. But I see somebody getting beat up for selling some fake Zulu. So when the person that came across the street from beating up somebody for selling some fake, you know, crack cocaine, came across the street, I said, hey, can I get a wholesale? And this is when it got real.
Yeah.
This is when it got real. When T. Jones said, hey, since y'all want to be grown, get out. It was a box, you know. My brother, you know, he got caught, you know, selling some weed. We were selling weed at school, but the empty cigar box was left in the closet. And when she left the letter, she said, this is tough love, but y'all gotta get out.
Yeah.
I saw what being grown was when he said, look up and drop those rocks in my hand. Yeah. And this is chemical substance that could have me overdose if I swallow it, running from the laws. And this is also something that could get me penitentiary time. So my means of survival were dealing with that substance. But as far as GovBank, I can honestly say I've learned a lot. It taught me a lot. It taught me how to be a man. We actually were kids, raising kids around that time, and you can't choose your family.
Yeah.
I met family over there, including yourself.
Yeah. Man, you know, I say this, man. I was telling I was telling one of my guys, man, for me, GovBank lit the fire. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
DeSoto carried the torch, but GovBank lit the fire because you know where me and Todd stay.
Yeah.
Everything is across the street.
Man.
Everything is
wow.
across the street, man.
Wow.
And you know, I'm coming from Heather Glen, and you know, I'm straight A and B student. I'm getting in trouble in little fights and stuff, but I ain't see it like that. Like I can come outside and it's across the street. It's live. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And once I seen that, man, that was it. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, man, y'all started rapping.
Yeah.
You started rapping first, right?
No, actually, good. You know KID, Kendrick James. Kendrick James showed my brother how to write bars. We were already freestyling, beating on the bleachers and well, Broderick came home, my twin, and of course you know Broderick, Mike. But he came home and he said a rap so fast, he's spitting like Twista. We used to rap like Do or Die Twista, and I was like, oh, I say, who wrote that? He say this song Kendrick James wrote. And then I was like, oh, that go hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, Kendrick go hard. He said, no, I'm playing, I wrote that. So Broderick challenged me to pick up my writing game. You know what I mean? And we were sparring partners when it came to rap game, but we put out our first compilation with Unified Records with Carlos Fields.
Right.
And that compilation done significantly well. Well over 60,000, 70,000 copies at Southwest Distribution with Robert Gilliman.
Yeah.
And so to experience that extravaganza that we aspired to be, you know, being that me, Paul Wall, Chameleon Now, we were a rap group in 7th grade when Chameleon Now was drawing our posters, to see it coming to fruition, it was amazing. And we were 16 years old when it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 16 years old is when we dropped our first CD, and 16 years old was also when I went to the Swisher House. So we were teenagers jumping off the porch.
Getting it in.
Yeah.
So man, see, I was in prison.
Yeah.
When y'all was, you know what I'm saying? When the Swisher Highs had took off. So I was hearing about 50-50 Twin, right?
I think that was 2000, and Mike, I think you done.
I came home in 2004.
You came home in 2004, and so you had to leave in 2002.
No,
it had to be 2000.
I left in the beginning of 99
because you done 5 years. And I want to say something about that. When you came home, I looked at you like 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying, because you know what I'm saying. And it's like to go at that age of a teenager and go into prison and come out bulletproof, you know, yoked up with tats. I'm like, man, bro just made it from the jungle. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not saying that's something to admire or look up to, but bro made it through something as a teenager going into that. Back in 1999, you had
prison was prison.
It was prison. It wasn't no safe P. It wasn't no cameras to protect you. He made it through situations in that. So when bro came home, you know, wow. You know what I'm saying? He was a new person. He was a new person.
I really, you know, and I ain't gonna we gonna get into all of that. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get into all of that.
We got so many stories.
Yeah, man. But you with the Swisher House. Later on you allowed me to experience it with you, but man, when you first got out there on stage and people knew your words, man, to your music, what was that feeling, man? Coming from where we come from. You get what I'm saying? Because bro, I keep telling you, man, you one of them ones, bro.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, see, the way I was taught, you know, by my spiritual advisor, you know, he taught us to be great. So I saw success not as an option, but I saw success as who I was. You know what I mean? Just as well as I was the president of the youth at the Community of Faith Church at age 15. You know, when we done our political campaigns to get nominated, who would be the president? I was 15 going against juniors and seniors, so I always aspired to be great. Yeah. And so when I first signed the autograph, or I heard somebody saying my lyrics, it just gave me a fulfillment of notoriety. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was looking for it in the streets, and everybody's searching for significance. I heard a preacher say in one sermon, everybody's searching for significance still to this day. Some people find it through social media. But that day, when I heard somebody saying my flows, I felt significant, you know? And one of the times that I felt that was at age 18 when I heard Big Ballin' Shot Callin', one of the singles that are still playing to this day
Yeah.
on the radio. But when I heard it, I was in jail. The police had gave me a quarter ounce of crack, you know, because they pulled up on the same block Gulf Bank.
When your song came out.
Yeah. Yeah, when I
didn't
heard
know
it,
that.
I was in jail, and I was standing on Gulf Bank, and the Laws jumped the fence. So if I was coming to the gate, I would have skedaddled. But when they elbowed me, I'm thinking it's one of my homeboys playing. I'm thinking it's Crappy or somebody playing. I'm like, man, you play too much. No, it's the Laws. Get your hands behind your back. So Michael Watts, he had paid us, and I had a little hustle money on me, so I pulled out $999. At that young age, we still had discipline enough to save. So when I go to the corner store, I was like, give me a soda, one soda. I actually want to keep this 1,000, but I don't mind knocking it down. So when he pulled out that money, he was like, oh, wait, okay, you out here hustling. So they saw a little confrontation up the sidewalk, and there was a few people shooting dice. You know what I'm saying? So they ran up the sidewalk, and when they weren't able to, you know, put them in custody, he came back hot, and he found a makeup kit that somebody had threw. And when he put me in the car, I felt like I was a menace to society or something. It was like he looked through the mirror, and he's looking back to see. He said, "Have you seen this before?" Opened up the kit. I said, "No, sir." He said, "Well, it's yours today," and drove me to Harris County. Yeah. So when I heard myself on the radio the first time, I was 18 years old, and it was Big Ballin' Shot Callin'. They were like, "Twin, you're on the radio. You're on the radio." And that was a significant moment for me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was in the county jail.
Man, so with all that, you know, all the success come all type of, you know,
adversity.
Mm-hmm. What were some of the adversities you was facing at that time?
One of the adversities that I faced, and I'm gonna tell y'all this, is being famous and not financially equivalent to my fame. Okay, yo hustle, at that time, I'm a teenager, I'm hustling. Yes, I am walking around with $1,000 in my pocket, and you know, and some of my constituents, some of my rapper partners had more. Just like people know, Slim Thug, he was probably playing with $80,000 in high school. I admit, on the block, I probably was playing with like $1,000, $3,000, $5,000 on any given Sunday. We made $300 before 12 o'clock. Our phone was jumping.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was times in my career where rap just wasn't paying me, and the streets was, you know, saying contradictory to my success. And so the block was hot, and then I was going through it. But I can say it was times I had broke days, and I had to learn how to be a famous broke person.
Yeah.
It happens in life. We go through those transitions in life. But that was one of the adversities. Another adversity was knowing how to manage my gift and my presence and not let myself get swallowed in the fact that I had notoriety, because I still had my family that I was representing. I still had my family that I still had to represent the fact that I was a teenager going to church.
Yeah.
So I was tatted up, grilled up, going to church, telling my partner, "Hey man, y'all, let's go to church." We go to church in Dope Fiend Rentals and Hoodoo Cars and go 8, 9 cars deep. I still had to keep my spirituality. So one of my adversities was when I felt my spirit being convicted in so many moments in the streets where I had to pack that pistol. Or where, you know, this young tenderoni, they want a freak. But you know what I'm saying, here it is, I'm growing up in church, you know what I'm saying? And all she want to do is be a squirrel and get a nut. And then my feelings hurt when she scratched off and I said with my partner. Yeah. It was so many adversities that came with the streets.
Yeah.
So not only did I had to navigate the streets, I had to keep my spirituality, I had to keep myself, and I learned from people like yourself. I learned from people like our Polos and our Big C and Steve. And Ray Face, Raymond, you know, I learned from the older guys how to say. One OG told me, say, if you're gonna be out here on the block, have somewhere to go.
Yeah.
I had to find me a little tenderoni who had an apartment over there. It was so many adversities out there, man. Shootouts, things of that nature. I got a bullet mark right here, you know.
Man, you know, growing up, you and Broderick, you know, at one time everybody thought we was triplets.
They did.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we used to be together doing so much stuff, man.
Yeah.
And I always admired the fact that y'all had y'all mama there. You know what I'm saying?
Well.
Like, you know, so I felt like y'all had some type of structure. Me, I was just, you know what I'm saying? I was young running it, you know what I'm saying? And I ended up in prison, right?
Yeah.
And bro, I really couldn't believe it when somebody told me that Broderick was in jail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like I said, man, y'all had that family support.
Yeah.
You know, and I know how tight y'all was.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? We had Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Let me tell y'all a story.
I was definitely, hey, man.
We had Pizza Hut.
They don't know about Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut, you know the Peyton Full cleaners?
Yeah.
The movie Peyton Full, where he was in the cleaners?
Yeah.
And the man found out he was selling work behind it. Go and tell him about Pizza Hut, Mike.
So,
shoot.
Pizza Hut, we working at Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
The oldest person, the manager, which was Adrian.
It was Adrian.
He 18.
Our homeboy.
Everybody else is younger than him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, we doing bruh. Our job, Pizza Hut, was right down the street from our school. We sold them folks pizza. We had sex in there.
We probably sold them a little spinach in there.
Say, man, we did everything, man. You know, I brought up Pizza Hut because, like I said, you and your brother was, you know, y'all super tight. Which one of y'all did I get into it with first?
It was Mike got into it with Broderick.
Over basketball.
Over basketball. I rolled up to defend Broderick. Mike wasn't nothing friendly about Mike. Mike hit me with a hyper uppercut so bad in that Pizza Hut, I was dazed and couldn't let him know it.
But say
so I'm telling y'all, yeah, we were therapeutic too. We wasn't no pushovers and none of that.
Yeah.
We going at it like Cellies in the back of Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we partners though.
But we partners.
You know what I'm saying?
And for us to be sitting right here, it shows, yeah, we got it in because that was our therapy, man. And this is our brother. This is our brother. So for that to happen, it was life.
Yeah. But you know, bro, we all rode together, so I felt like I was y'all brother anyway. You know what I'm saying? But
indeed.
Y'all was super tight, man. You know, so when he left, what type of emotional toll did that take on you, man?
The night, see, Broderick would always experience stuff before me.
Yeah.
It's like when he walked in Mama Diane's house on Parker, on Dillard Street by Chocolate Town. He came in there with some J's on, like Money Making Mitch. He had some J's and a Jordan outfit. And I was like, oh, where you get that from? We like 56 and Broderick pulled out some crack, and it seemed like it glowed. It was like, oh. I say, ooh. I said, where you been? He said, on Gulf Bank. So that's when I went in the kitchen and made me some Bisquick. So Broderick would always experience stuff before me. It's like even when he met my sister-in-law Keisha, and they was in a relationship, you know, and Broderick had baby Britt, my niece, you know what I'm saying? So he experienced parenthood before me at age 18. Heaven was born 21 at age 21. Broderick left at 20. So he would always experience things before me, and it's like when Broderick left, it's like part of me was torn. I'm a triplet. My sister Mary is our triplet, but me and Broderick are identical. So it's like part of me was torn, and I didn't realize how I was gonna live life without my brother because we the 50-50 twins. I could be somewhere having a squabble or anything. One time I was having a squabble, and right when Broderick finna swing, I punched at the same time. We both hit to do the same. So it was times Broderick would just pop up, you know, even though we have. I said I was more like Rob De Niro. He was more like Joe Pesci. Broderick had a quick temper, you know that.
Yeah.
And I was more of a thinker because, you know, I always been spiritual. But and Broderick is too. But man, I was torn. The night he got shot in the hip and the head, my baby mama, the phone rang and she said, she woke me up and I was holding my hip in my head like this.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? She said she woke up, I was sleeping, I was asleep like this. And when we rushed to the hospital, he was handcuffed to the bed. And when he turned around to look at me at the hospital on Tidwell, I walked in, the police officer thought he saw a ghost. He was like, you got to get out of here. You know, and he's like, and so it affected me so much so that later on, Broderick's addiction became my addiction.
Don't touch on it yet.
We ain't gonna touch on it yet.
We
gonna get to it.
Man, Man.
I had many suicidal thoughts. I had major depression, and it's scientific fact that when twins are separated, being that we share the same egg, it psychologically affects the other twin.
Right.
So I've been split from my egg that was joined with. So I've been messed up since he left. I haven't been normal since he left. I haven't been normal. It's like you being split in half. We were literally one egg.
Yeah.
And then they do like this in the womb, in the fallopian tubes. So I've literally been split from my brother, since age 19. He turned 20 in prison. So we basically had 19 years together. So imagine that, 23 years of separation. So I haven't been normal. I've always felt isolated. You were my twin at times and didn't know it.
Yeah.
So I tend to connect to people that I call my brother because they held the presence of my twin. You were my twin at times and didn't know it.
Yeah.
And we done rock tight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, shout out to Broderick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, he coming home soon.
Yeah.
And he gonna do some amazing things, man.
He will. My brother, he speaks Talim in the prison systems. He works in the library. He has a associate's degree in web design. He speaks to the youth. He's put together well over 300 holiday events for the unit. OG Percy in Fort Worth spoke about it. He inspired OG Percy to get out and do podcasts and do music. And OG Percy mentioned when him and Broderick linked up, Broderick was like, man, I know how y'all do it down there on J-Wing, but when you come down here, man, let's work out, let's read some books. Broderick is like that. When I was locked up, I had people sliding up to my table at Chow Hall on his behalf. They slide like chess pieces. Hey, man, I'm here on behalf of your brother. He's an instructor. He's a leader. We call him Bruce Lee. He's all about wisdom. So I had to walk in that integrity.
Yeah.
When it comes to defending myself or carrying myself upright, I had to walk in that integrity when I was on the unit too.
Because he was held to such a high standard.
He was held to a very high standard. You know what I mean? And respect is given when it's given. Yeah. But in there, sometimes those boundaries can be crossed, and you either have to move with your spirit self, and sometimes you have to move physically.
Yeah.
So I definitely just honor the way my brother has held himself together these 23 years.
23 years.
23 years. He said, I want you to do a song called Mandela Years.
Yeah.
Nelson Mandela went to prison for 25 years for something that he was innocent of. But he said he'd rather stay than be of a disrespect to his nation. Yeah. And he got out and became the president of South Africa. So, we have to go through our turmoil. I call it the Joseph. The
Joseph effect.
The Joseph effect, yeah.
Man, you were speaking about your brother's addiction.
Right.
Man, let's touch a little bit on that, man. What was that addiction?
Okay, in the 70s, you had heroin. In the 80s, you had crack and formaldehyde, angel dust, PCP. And I wrote down some notes before coming because, as my brother know, I hold him in high regards. There's things that affect us in the community. And see, these three things that affect us, our character development. One is physical development. It emphasizes individuals' function and cognitive thought process. Psychological aspects concern how people think about themselves, others, and the environment around them. Your social development is who you socialize with. And also you have your biological development. That's your physical aspects. That's like as you grow in age. Yeah. But so in the 70s you had heroin, in the 80s you had crack, and then you had PCP. So in the hood, PCP was a smell. I used to smell at Chocolate Town. When they open up the door and you hear Fifth Ward bars, you know what I'm saying? You hear PWA, the weed and the alcohol. And when they open the door, I smelled the scent like Toucan Sam in the Fruit Loops commercial, and it will always be there. I'm like, man, that's gangster. Yeah. I see them behind tent, they Delta 88 on Epic Vogues or they Krager rims, the swangers, and I be like, man, that's some gangsters behind that tent. And that PCP was the drug that my brother was on when he went and committed his unfortunate aggravated robbery. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you, when he was in the car, he got the car. He told the friend stayed in, but when he walked up to the man with the gun out, the man struggled for his life. The gun went out, boom, shot the man in the mouth. This is something that my brother told me, and when he shot the man told him too. The man that writing my brother in prison after our family sent apology letters, and he wrote the man's wife said, I can tell that